I think we're live.
Yeah.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Doing good.
It looks beautiful there.
We're good. It's a nice sunny day. We had a bunch of rain, but we're through it, I think, for
Right.
now.
Right on. Let's see if let's give it a few minutes here and see.
Where are you, in Nashville?
Yeah. I'm in Nashville. It's been warm and everything is coated with a thin layer of yellow pollen. So everyone's allergies are terrible right now. But here they are. Numbers are going up there. You guys hanging in there? All right, let's see. There they are. There's people saying hi. Can you see all the comments to the side, Jason?
I can't see them. No, that's. Should I be able to see them?
I don't know. That might be only for me since I'm hosting, but there's a lot of people saying hello.
Good.
So I'll just kind of like read through them and we'll just kind of talk. I think, people want to. First of all, man, thanks again for being cool for doing the video with us. It's getting a lot of good feedback, man. So people are really digging it. I don't know what it's like on your end, but
yeah, every time I do this stuff for the homeless and I go out there, it gets a lot of interaction, a lot of feedback, a lot of comments, and it just keeps driving me to do what I'm doing. And this video that you guys did and this documentary, I don't think you've released it yet. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying that, but
we can talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. But it's seriously it's just amazing how you guys capture what I've been doing and the foundation and the interactions in the video and just how I mean, I'm a loss for words, bro. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I did. I've been doing a lot of interviews about it, and a lot of people are just talking about how it was what they needed to see right now. Obviously, we couldn't have planned for this type of thing to happen with what's going on, with the virus and everything. But it was great to put like an uplifting message out there, and it seems to be really helping people, which is just an added bonus to it. But that was such a cool day, man, just following you around. And you were talking about how we captured it. All we did was follow you around and watch you do what you do, which is incredible, man.
Thanks. It was fun.
How's the foundation? Like, tell people, I guess, how that got started. And
well, it got started with an idea, my experience, strength, and hope of getting sober, having nothing at 34 years old. And in this last 16 years, getting this great big life by suiting up and showing up. And I got a burning desire one day to go get a pair of cordless clippers and to go out and help others that are in the same situation that I was in 16 years ago. So I didn't know it was going to turn into all this. It started off with me in a backpack and a buddy and his cell phone. And I went up on a homeless guy and I said, "Hey, you want a haircut?" And he was into it. We filmed it. We put it out. And then it's just continually been growing. And I have the Instagram, The Men's Groomer. And what I do is I keep posting on my Instagram, The Men's Groomer, and other hairstylists show up. I put the location and estheticians, massage therapists, doctors, attorneys. Now everybody's been getting involved with it and they want to help. And and so what we did was we started the Men's Groomer Foundation, where you can actually donate to on Venmo. And, we're small and we're growing and everything's just been snowballing. So, so many people have such big hearts and they can identify with what I went through, and they themselves have family members or friends or colleagues that are battling with addiction and who are homeless. And so, everybody's been pitching in and it's just been growing. And so it's the Men's Groomer Foundation. And that's basically it.
Have you heard, talking to somebody today. They asked me, and I don't know. I've heard like a couple of like headlines and stuff, but I haven't heard how this whole virus thing is really affecting that community. Have you heard from any of those people? And
yeah, so I tapped in the other day. I drove down the street where I usually go to do haircuts, and it's flooded, and everybody's still there, and life is as it was for them. But now I heard that the resources are even less because people are afraid. Yeah. And I mean, I'm afraid. Like I go down there and I'm like, well, there's no haircuts going on right now, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm at home and I'm like, okay, one of the homeless guys reached out to me because he's on social media and he said, you know, people are getting scared. And so I'm putting together a fund to go down, and Sunday we're going to go down and we're going to feed some people, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And I think I'm going to take my truck and my buddy in the back with pizzas or whatever we figured out. He's going to have a mask and the gloves, and we're just going to drive slow and old school it right out of the truck. I mean, we're trying to figure that out, but people are hungry, and it's definitely kind of a sketchy sitch.
Yeah, it's got to be extra scary now because they just can't, wash their hands after they touch something like we can as easily. It's just not.
Well, the governor here in California and the mayor, they're setting up wash stations and that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
So there's extra wash stations going, and there's talk about people getting housed in hotels because the hotels are empty. So I'm following all of that too.
Right.
And hopefully a lot of good comes out of what's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's really, really terrible right now, but there are some good changes that'll come from it, man. I have to believe that for sure. But anyway, let me see. I'm trying to look at some of these comments. Somebody asked if you'd cut my hair. You've cut my hair before. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I could, actually, man, this quarantine, I'm due. Look at this.
That'll be our next live video. I'll walk you through it.
I know. Like, I have to get some of those clippers myself, man. Because
my buddy did a mohawk. I walked him through it. His wife cut a mohawk on his head, and a lot of people are asking me to do these live mohawk or live stream haircuts, and I think I'm going to be going on the news for one, and then I'm doing a GQ one too. So
on.
Everybody's jumping on with the home haircuts,
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do desperate times, man.
I'm saying grow it. I think everybody should grow their hair.
Yeah, I'm just gonna right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go until I can't anymore, and I got no reason to look pretty. So
I think it'll look good. I think it's gonna look good on you.
But you mentioned the documentary. We are going to release the longer form documentary that's based on the video. Obviously, it tells a little bit more of your story and everything. So I'm not exactly sure when, but it should be hopefully within the next week or so that should be out. So yeah, Mason killed it. He did a great job, man.
Yeah, so good working with you guys. It was amazing.
Yeah, we were. And I don't know if we talked about how we met you really on the documentary, if it made the final cut, but for people that might be interested, because it keeps coming up. People keep asking me how we got hooked up with you, and it was such a natural thing. I mean, you were just on a photo shoot one day with photographer Dove Shore.
Yeah.
Out there in LA, and you made quite an impression on us because you had this no bullshit kind of way of speaking to us that we appreciated.
I love that story. You guys just told it recently. You want to tell it or what? It's good.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out. We have all these. Usually, when we have these photo shoots, we have all these clothes and all this stuff, and we're trying on all these clothes, and like we come out and Jason's like, man, I mean, you're gonna look at that in like 10 years and be like, what the hell is I wearing? We were like, yeah. He's like, why don't you just put those jeans on and that jean jacket and you'll be good? And we're like, yeah, you're right. And we all like went back into the corner and we're like, that guy's kind of the shit, man. I kind of like
Yeah.
him, man.
Definitely not a yes guy. See, I work with a lot of celebrities and actors over the years, and it's like I think I owe that to them to not let them do that to themselves, because there are around a lot of people that are like, yeah, that looks great, and I'm like, no. And I followed styles over the year. It's really important to me, and that's why I got into doing hair.
Yeah. Well,
that's
that same personality trait is how you talk to the people that you help too. Like that's just you through and through. And if you guys, you'll see in his videos and you'll see in our like documentary how Jason talks to these people just face to face, eye to eye, no bullshit. And they appreciate that too, man. They're people, they're humans just like us, and they appreciate someone treating them as an equal. And man, it's inspiring in its own right. Just to, it changed how I look at people on the street, for sure. Forever, I will look at them differently and treat them differently just because of having spent that day with you, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you guys when you first got out there. It was intimidating. And then like 15, and it always is. When I go out there too, I'm like, I'm putting this event together to go help people. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And then every time I do it, it turns out perfect. It's always perfect. It's the way it should be. But you get out there, it's intimidating. You don't know what you're up against. You kind of ease your way in, and then before you know it, we're having fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And I put on my Instagram right now. So one of those interaction stories, and it's my first post right now at The Men's Groomer. So if you guys want to check out a really powerful one on The Men's Groomer right now, it's the last post I just did was a guy, Michael. And I talked to him the way that you're talking about. And I'm talking to the disease, because it's the disease that I'm after. And I was talked to the same way in rehab 16 years ago, where the owner and the people around me, the other addicts and alcoholics who were not calling they were calling my bullshit.
Yeah.
It was like they took off the mask. And so when I'm talking to this guy, Michael, I'm after the disease. And I'm telling him, where he's headed. And there's 3 places that an addict or an alcoholic is headed to. And it's jail, institution, or death. Those are the 3 places you're headed.
Yeah.
And that's the end result. And so check it out. It's pretty powerful if you get a chance to go over to my Instagram and look at The Men's Groomer.
This person asked the question. I think I can actually show these questions. I'm going to click on it and see what happens.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Look at that. Does it ever bring you to tears to see how people have changed after?
Oh, dude. I mean, that day when we filmed, I broke down crying with the Southern guy who I shaved his beard off, and he came and gave me a hug.
Yeah.
It was hard to have him open up because he's had empty promises for all his life. And I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, I'm not full of shit. Like, dude, I know I've been where you have been.
Yeah.
And then I broke down and cried because it's just sad, dude, that he, he wants to change and he doesn't know how. And, I'll be there. I'll continue to go out there and look for that dude, because we had a moment, and I broke down crying with him, and I want to help him. I want to help everybody that wants to help themselves.
Yeah, man, that was a powerful one for sure, man. You just feel for these people, man. When you just sit and talk to them for 2 minutes, they start to open up to you. You can tell that they don't get that a lot, and
they become more real too. They become people. They're not just a face.
Yeah, absolutely. You can easily, pass right by a lot of these people just because you're kind of used to seeing them, or you're scared or whatever.
Yeah. Like
you said, we were scared that day. Like, there was one lady that was a little vocal, and
yeah. Well, there is people that are mentally ill out there, and you kind of have to kind of ease your way in and know who wants help, or know who wants, who's approachable. And so
trying to see what else we got here. I'll just show you this one because you'll appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you, Yankee. Yankee Megsy.
Hello from Detroit. Hello. Anyway, this is so cool that we get to do this, man. Just it sucks that we're all kind of shut in our homes now, but it's cool that we can connect like this and
For sure.
and just
Thank
hang
you.
out and talk about it, man. But I don't know if there's any. Tell people again too how they can donate, because I'm sure some of these people.
Yeah,
what's the easiest
absolutely.
way?
Yeah, so right now the donations that we're taking are going to be going to food for people that don't have food on the streets right now, and I'm going to be headed out, and we'll put that up on my Instagram, The Men's Groomer, also. But The Men's Groomer Foundation on Venmo, it says The Men's Groomer Foundation. A lot of people are like, you need a code. You can just go underneath that and just click it anyways. It'll say click anyways. So The Men's Groomer Foundation, it's all one word, The Men's Groomer Foundation, and I'm in charge of where this money goes, and I'm trying to find people that want help and that need help. And I got a guy that's in rehab right now for 90 days. And so what also is, there's a structure. I went through a structured sober living for 13 months. And for the first 6 months, they didn't let me work. And then it was basically sobriety was my college. Like, I had to learn how to learn life on life's terms. And, I'd been effing off for the last 30 years, and it was about having fun, surfing, partying, getting laid. That's what my first 30 years of life was about. And then I found myself with nothing at 30, and the wheels had fell off. I had a terrible drug addiction. I was hooked on crack. I was doing meth. I was a chemistry set, whatever it took to make me not feel. And I had a good upbringing. I always heard my parents' voice in my head, and I knew that in my gut, my heart, I had so much more to offer myself and life. And I was like, I had a burning bush moment where I was like, okay, I need help. And I asked somebody for help, and they paid for my first month of rehab. It was $1,500, and I worked it off. And the next month, somebody else had sponsored me for the next month, and then I was able to get through. And I stayed in rehab for 13 months at 34 years old. And the structure that I went through has a really high success rate, and there's not that many places out there, but I know the ones that work, and it's a similar structure to what I went through. And it's a year program. You don't work for 6 months, then you work, then you go and you move out with 2 other guys in sobriety, and you continue to go to meetings and doing what you need to do to toe the line. So I have a couple places here in LA that have offered me scholarships for these guys. It's a nonprofit house. It's called Awakening Recovery. And what I do is I donate parts of the proceeds into these houses in order to leave a bed open when it opens, to find somebody on the street that I can take who's sick and tired of being sick and tired like I was. And I just recently brought this guy Yvonne over there, and he's doing great. I see him around town at meetings now. And, really one haircut, one life at a time. And that's what's going on here. And I'm so grateful to be able to give it back the way that it was given to me.
Man, there's one part of your story that whenever I hear you tell it, that hits me hard, that you just kind of go over pretty fast, but and it's when you say that you asked for help. And I just feel like that's such a important part of your story, but really anybody, my story too, anyone who wants to change something about themselves, whether it be, someone in your position or, for me personally, I was just not, I was not happy, and I needed to talk to someone. I just needed help, mentally. And I was afraid of asking for that help. And I think a lot of people are afraid to ask for help and feel like it's maybe somehow weak to ask for help.
For sure.
But it's actually the strongest thing that you can do, is to be vulnerable and ask for that help. So I think that's an important part of your story that always hits me whenever I hear you tell it, is the fact that you got to that point and you said, I have to ask for help. That had to be tough.
I've been taught what that's all about. And it's like they say, when you wave the flag and surrender, it's not giving up, it's coming over to the winning side. and it's surrender, and I got to come over to the winning side. So admitting and accepting that I have a problem is where the growth started. You know, the growth process starts. And it's something so freeing about just saying, dude, I got a problem, and just throwing your hands down. And you no longer have to fight it. You can get help, you know? And that's when I was able to change my life, was when I was like, just show me, because I can't do this myself. You know, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And, you know, and that's why that year program was really important, because it doesn't happen overnight. You know, it's got to, like, when you work out in the gym, you know, you don't get buff overnight. You got to exercise that muscle of surrender, acceptance, willingness, you know, because we get that fuck it switch, you know, like all of a sudden you just get the switch and you're like, this, I was having more fun back when I was doing this. And then, you know, that passes. And so it's like one day at a time, and all that stuff, those cliches that you hear about sobriety, they work. And sorry to babble, but
no, man, that's why we're here. We're here for you to babble, and you know, just to, you know, tie it up in a neat little bow. Just that you know, the moment that I reached for myself to ask for help was the day after I wrote this song. And this song made me want to be a better person, and realize I needed to be. And the next morning I, you know, made a phone call and started working on myself. So and it's still, you know, I'm still working very hard. And I just know this song means so much to me, and means so much to a lot of people. And I know it can kind of come across as sad to some people, because it can be sort of a sad song. But I knew after seeing, you know, your Instagram stories and your work and everything that you're doing, that it was the perfect way to show that it's also a hopeful song. And you know, it can also be looked at as an encouraging and inspiring song too. So again, before we sign off, I just want to say thank you again for doing what you do, and for being a part of our video, man. It's my favorite one. Dude,
thank you guys so much. I love you guys. And I'm not a country music fan, but I am now.
Yeah.
No, I don't like to say I'm not a country music fan. I love country, a lot of it. But this song and music in general speaks to me and moves me. And as soon as I heard this song and you guys asked me to do it, I was like, I started playing it, and I thinking of the videos that I'm doing and the people on the streets. And I started tearing up immediately when I heard this song. So thank you for helping carrying this message and everything that you guys do. I'm really grateful.
Absolutely, man. So the Men's Groomer, Instagram.
That's it.
It's got a link to your website where they can donate.
Awesome.
And then we'll put out the documentary here pretty soon.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Good talking to you, Matt.
Stay safe, man.
Peace.
See ya.